It was a stormy night when I realized that I had been in love with him for a long time. But by then, everything was already spiraling out of control. His name was Jack, and he had always been the mystery of my life. We met under the most unusual of circumstances, and from the moment I laid eyes on him, I knew there was something different about him. The first time we crossed paths was at a charity event we both attended, an event we didn't want to be at, but were obligated to for different reasons. I had seen him before, walking by in the crowded streets of the city, but at that moment, in that room full of strangers, it was as if our paths were meant to collide. I had always been the kind of person who kept to the background. I didn't care much for the spotlight. I preferred to stay unnoticed, blending in with the walls. But Jack was the complete opposite. There was an air of confidence about him, a magnetic energy that made everyone around him gravitate toward him. And as much as I hated to admit it, I was no different. From the moment he smiled at me, I was drawn to him. Our first conversation wasn't anything significant. It was simple, almost casual. He asked if I was enjoying the event, and I answered him politely, giving my usual reserved response. But what struck me about him was how easy it was to talk to him, how he made me feel like I could actually open up and say what was on my mind. There was something about him that made me feel alive, like everything around me had suddenly become clearer. But there was also something unsettling about him, something I couldn't put my finger on. His eyes, deep and dark, had this intensity that sent shivers down my spine. It was like he was always watching, always observing, as if he knew something I didn't. As time went on, our encounters became more frequent. We ran into each other at various events, in the hallways, at coffee shops, and each time, I couldn't stop the electric current that ran through me when I saw him. It wasn't just attraction. It was something deeper, something dangerous that both excited and terrified me. I started to notice how he would linger near me, how his gaze would follow me across the room, and how his smile would send my heart racing. But I never said anything. I never let on that I was aware of how much I was drawn to him. He had a life that was much more complicated than mine. Jack was well known in certain circles, though his reputation was a mixture of admiration and fear. He wasn't just a charming, confident man. He had a history, one that people whispered about when they thought no one was listening. There were rumors, dangerous rumors. But despite everything I had heard, I couldn't stop myself from wanting to know him more. Then one night, everything changed. It was late. The rain had started pouring outside, the streets slick and glistening under the streetlights. I had stayed late at work, wrapping up some reports, when I received a text from Jack. "I need to see you now. Meet me at the old warehouse on 5th Street. The message was simple, but it was enough to set my heart pounding. I didn't know what he wanted, but something in his words told me that this wasn't just another casual meeting. This was different. The thrill, the fear, the anticipation. I couldn't shake it. Against my better judgment, I grabbed my coat and left the office. The rain drenched me as I made my way through the empty streets, my footsteps echoing in the quiet. The old warehouse on 5th Street had always been a place of rumors and mystery. It was one of those buildings that stood alone, abandoned, as if it had secrets hidden within its cracked walls. I didn't know what awaited me, but I couldn't stop now. When I arrived, the place was dark, the windows fogged up from the rain. I hesitated for a moment, my breath catching in my throat, but I couldn't turn back. I stepped inside, the door creaking behind me, and there he was, Jack, standing in the shadows, his figure illuminated only by the dim light from the street lamp outside. He wasn't smiling, but there was a certain intensity in his expression that made me feel like I was about to step into something far beyond my control. "Jack?" My voice echoed in the empty space. He stepped forward slowly, his eyes never leaving mine. "I'm glad you came," he said, his voice low, almost haunting. "I need to tell you something, and I need you to listen carefully." I felt a chill run down my spine, but I couldn't move. My body was frozen, and my mind was racing with questions. What was happening? Why had he called me here? I've been avoiding this, he continued, his voice growing more intense. But I can't anymore. I need you to understand that everything I've done, everything you think you know about me, it's all been leading to this. I opened my mouth to speak, but my words were lost in the weight of his gaze. Something in his eyes had changed. The darkness that had always been there was more pronounced now, and it felt like a storm was brewing. Jack, I don't understand, I whispered. He took a step closer, his presence overwhelming. You don't have to understand right now. All you need to know is that I've been trying to protect you. But I can't keep you in the dark any longer. I'm in danger, Lena, and now you are too. His words hit me like a punch. What do you mean? I asked, my voice trembling. What danger? I'm not who you think I am, Jack said, his tone growing more urgent. I've been hiding things, secrets about my past, things that have come back to haunt me, and they're coming after you now. I've tried to keep you safe, but it's getting harder. I should have stayed away from you, but I couldn't. I was stunned, my heart pounding in my chest. The man I had fallen for, the man I had trusted, was involved in something far darker than I could have ever imagined. I need to know, Jack, I said, my voice barely a whisper. What have you done? What do you mean you're in danger? He hesitated for a moment, and then with a look of deep regret, he took my hands in his. I'm in deep with people who don't care about the consequences. I've been working to get out, but the past doesn't let you go that easily. They know about us now, Lena, and they'll stop at nothing to make sure I don't escape. A wave of realization washed over me. This wasn't just about my feelings for him anymore. This was something far bigger, something that threatened not only our relationship, but our lives. Jack, I breathed, my voice shaking with fear. What do we do now? His expression softened, and for the first time, I saw the vulnerability that he had kept hidden. We face it together, he said softly. I should have told you sooner, but now I need you to trust me. Trust that I'll protect you. No matter what happens, I'll keep you safe. And in that moment, everything shifted. The love I had buried for so long, the feelings I had kept hidden, now felt more real than ever. Despite the danger, despite everything that was threatening to tear us apart, I knew one thing. I couldn't walk away. I couldn't leave him now. I trust you, Jack, I said, my voice filled with conviction. We'll get through this together.